Okay, so hi, everybody knows me already. Jason, in case you're online, and yeah, there will be some corny jokes. I'm sorry, but that's the way I whirl. So, um, how's everybody feeling? Are you tired? This is exactly how I feel.
Get off the stage!
I felt this like way on Thursday, and I was like still all through the weekend working on my project. So we made it. So on my first class, I had this library app, and what you basically did was when you were waiting for something at the library, you would enter in how many copies the library had, where you were in line, and then it would just calculate how many days you had to wait. So this time around, I have one book away. Which is the same thing, but with some real-time data, which I get from the library. That's awesome. So we'll just go through the walkthrough. And it's right here. This is going to work. Okay, so it looks basically the same. If I hit this refresh button, it comes out and brings in all the different things I have waiting for me. And you can see different days. So instead of having a little, before it was more like a calculator where I'd enter all this information in, now it's just bringing that data in, automatically doing the calculation, and then showing me how long my wait is going to be. Well, if I wanted to see some details, there's some basic details. You can see the original library page. The Amazon link isn't quite working yet, but I'm going to have that link to the referral. Just running out of time idea. All this was actually done with a content provider, which I thought was kind of funny that it was very similar in some aspects to Homework 5, but I'll take what I can get. Anyways, so then I'll just show you some settings. I think the cooler stuff's in the settings. I have this feature called Update on Launch, so you just go ahead and tap on there, and then you have to leave the app. Am I too close to the microphone? Whatever.
Sorry, I can.
Just want to make sure I'm getting it out of there. Okay, so if I reopen the app, it goes automatically and starts updating my information. And if I go back in, just unclick that. The other thing I have here, let's say I go ahead and I change how long like a movie can be checked out, I'm just gonna take it out altogether. It tells me already it's not set, and if I go back to the main screen, saying it has that little toast saying that it's not there, and if I go back in, the app immediately detects that there's a problem with a setting and tells me by bringing up the settings automatically. And then I have this other feature. Since I'm grabbing data anyways, I just went ahead and you can tap here. It'll go out to the library and grab all that information and automatically load up what the checkout periods are for the different stuff. And yeah, okay, that's great. And other than that, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I do have a couple little other slides I wanted to show. So to do this, I had to do some screen scraping, and there's some various stuff you can read online that are very much against screen scraping. I mean, you are grabbing your presentation layer, and you're grabbing and bringing that in as data, and the argument is that site gets updated or some program gets updated, and then your app is just toast because it can't work anymore. But we're in a mobile society now, and sometimes you just can't say that. And since if they don't give you an API, you have to use some other form, screen scraping. So I chose jsoup. And jsoup, I like to consider jsoup it's just a library. We used it in the second class. I don't know if you realize that, to grab some image data. I consider it fishing for data. So this is straight from the library, and that is a typical, the page is a ton of tables within tables of HTML, and I wanted to look for a specific thing, which ended up being this checkbox, so I wanted to get a row that had an input type of checkbox and a name of select. It's called select hold. So I came up with this nice little script, which is basically show me every table, give me the table row that has a TD, which has an input type of text box with all this information, which I thought would be really cool. I thought I would just be out the door. But the problem is it gave me where that arrow is pointing right there. And then I would try to do my next step, and I would just completely fall on my face. So then I had to do this little get parent, basically go up the node, which I'm sure you guys are kind of familiar doing stuff like this. And I had to go all the way up to get my row, and then I could get my data. So that was that. My other little thing is the update on launch. That is I had a problem where I had all my, as soon as the app would start, it was in my on create. But if I rotate the screen, then it just automatically thinks, it recreates the whole thing, it goes back into on create, and then redoes the whole, goes out and refreshes constantly. So if I'm rotating back and forth, I'm just async tasking all over the place. So I did some little research on this, and there's a class called the application class. And it basically, I consider it sitting on top of your code. And you name it the name of your application, you extend application, you set it in your manifest. It's right on the main manifest line. It's really easy to look up. And I just did a quick little, I have a little boolean there that just says, as soon as I come in, do I want to update true or false? If it's true, then once you grab, my main app will grab the need first run function there, and as soon as it's grabbed, it sets it to false. So on my main application, I only need to say get application need first run, and I'm good to go. And that's about it. But one more thing, just to be cheesy. Don't forget. It's been fun. This is how I did most of my work. And that's all. Is there any questions?
So one thing, how many other people have used the application class?